Hello everyone, so this is a video for my class POS 500. We're going to be talking about initiatives and referendums. The initiative and referendum processes are key components of direct democracy in Arizona, which is they allow citizens to propose and enact laws and to approve or reject laws passed by the legislature. So, you might ask, what is an initiative? An initiative is a process that allows citizens to propose new laws or change existing laws. Citizens draft a proposed law or constitutional amendment and gather signatures to qualify for the proposed ballot. So, in that regard, what would a referendum be? A referendum is a process that allows citizens to approve, reject, or reject laws passed by the legislature. It can be either mandatory or optional. So, optional would be for ordinary laws, and mandatory for constitutional amendments and specific types of laws that coincide with it. So, I don't know, I find this kind of fascinating, honestly. I've always been a little curious about, um, what states hold what laws. So this is very interesting warning, and I know it's also going to coincide with the laws that are going, are part of the state where I currently am. And I have to look up those laws myself. Currently, I'm in Colorado, though there's always a chance with my family, since we're from Wisconsin, that we could go back to Wisconsin. So it's really important, wherever you are, to learn the laws of each area. To learn the creation and initiative of initiatives and referendums, as well as compare and contrast, and learning the pros and cons. Like, while both initiative and referendums are tools of democracy, they serve different purposes. Initiatives, from what I recall, allow citizens to propose and enact laws, while referendums allow citizens to approve or reject specific laws that could be passed by legislature. So, gathering all this in, I'm kind of wondering, what are pros and cons? I don't know if you all are as well, but after doing a lot of studying, let me share with you. Pros and cons. Pros for initiatives can allow citizens to propose and enact laws bypassing legislature, which some of this I think can be really good, and I think people need to remember this, because I think at times certain laws can be made, this is just my own opinion, that are not very beneficial, and I mean, they seem beneficial at first, and then, the idea, it's an idea in the beginning, but then you learn that, maybe it wasn't that good. And I think people really need to remember that they have the power. We, the people, have the power to change the laws instead of just living by some of them. Cons of initiatives can be complex and difficult for voters to understand. They can also be influenced by special interests, which again has is with the laws because there are pros and cons with every law, and we just need to be prepared for it as voters and be prepared to step up if it's not benefiting us. Just like referendums. Pros for referendums allow citizens to have a direct say in approving or rejecting laws. They can serve as a check on legislature. I think a lot of people again forget that because the laws get approved by the government, and then um, a lot of people who don't like the laws don't do anything to change it. They just learn to live with it. Cons for initiatives and referendums can be complex again, and that is very true, and difficult for voters to understand. They can also lead to voter fatigue, which I think is very true. And I think a lot of voters are getting fatigued because laws get passed and no one is stepping up to make changes to laws that they don't agree with. And then they get fatigued, and but they don't do anything to back it. So, as best as I know, is late. I'm getting a little tired. That is initiatives and referendums, pros and cons, and everything in between. Everything that we could know and should know about it. And we need as voters to remember that we have a voice. If we don't like a law, we have a voice to change it. And I think we need to exercise that voice a lot more. Thank you. Have a good night.